commas with introductory phrases and clauses. And phrases and clauses are groups of words. And in our case today, they're going to be the ones that introduce extra information and details for our sentences. So, for instance, during the night, Lindsay dreamed she saw a UFO. During the night is our introductory phrase here, and it gives us more information about where and when Lindsay dreamed she saw a UFO. You can see here on the screen that there's quite a few different types of phrases that can be used. But the big thing to note is when we naturally read these sentences, whether it's aloud or in our head, we naturally pause. Running at top speed, Jean chased down the school bus. However, if I flip the order of the sentence, so Sean bought tickets to the orchestra because he enjoys music, we don't naturally pause there when our phrase is at the end of the sentence. So what you're having to do on these is just making sure that we have that nice, easy pause that's easy for people to follow along. Commas, by definition, are just denotions of pausing. They make things clearer to hear and to visually see. So they just say, hey, pause here for a second. So we never want to put a comma where we don't want to pause. So for instance, Magnus enjoys running at top speed. We don't want to have Magnus enjoys running at top speed. It causes a real disconnect in our sentence. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what makes most sense when we are saying and reading sentences. So we'll do a few of these together. During the tour of the Transylvanian castle, Tina Fey kept an eye out for vampires. Now, if you were listening, you probably heard exactly where that pause was. So our introductory phrase, during the tour of the Transylvanian castle, Tina Fey. So that's where our comma belongs. After he saw the Broadway play, Oliver Wood waited outside to meet the actors. Again, you can hear exactly where those pauses are. If you struggle with this, one thing you can look for is the subject of the sentence. A lot of times the subject occurs right after your introductory phrase. Now, in this one here, we don't have an introductory phrase at all. There's no pausing that we would do. But say, let's see if this next example will work for us. It won't. So again, there's no introductory phrase here. So Ginny Weasley dances wildly whenever she hears the theme song. We wouldn't have any pauses there. But here, going back to looking at the subject, the person doing something in my sentence is Hamish. So, singing at the top of his lungs, Hamish Abernathy woke up most of his neighbors. You can see that our introductory clause is divisive from our subject of our sentence. This isn't always the case, but it's a pretty common occurrence in the English language, so it can be one thing to help you if you're really struggling to figure out where that pause would naturally occur. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.